Brother Ben has been singing gospel songs for many years, one of the original Speers, along with me and Mom and Dad and our two sisters, Maritom and Rosanelle. Ben started singing when he was about 2 years of age, and he's had many great songs, of course, down through those years. But he's got one now that he can really get into. He's got one that most of us can relate to. It talks about Job. I guess the epitome of suffering and hardship and trial is told in the story of Job. But you and I sometimes have troubles and suffering that we think are equal maybe to Job's. But Job was victorious through all of his trials and sufferings because he kept his faith in God. He had some bad advice. His friends said, Job, you must have sinned some big sin. God's going to kill you for it. Job's answer was one of faith. Though he slay me, yet will I serve him. Job's wife said, Job, give it up. Just forget it. He said, I know my Redeemer liveth. I will bless the name of the Lord. Job was victorious through all of his trials, and you and I can be too if we will keep faith in God. Though he slay me, yet will I serve him. I will bless the name of the Lord. Brother Ben sings about it. In the midst of the trials and troubles of life, you can have victory in Jesus Christ.
What had you done to deserve all this? Curse God and die. What advice for a man who had trusted God most of his life. Then Job speaks as he stands among a broken down domain. In the midst of it all, I shall stand and not fall and bless his name. In the midst of it all, in the midst of it all, I found a hope that will never let me fall. Let me fall. Jesus heard my call, and my knees stood tall, and in Him I stand complete in the midst of it all. Should the day ever come when everyone bows their heads to pride, and when man has done all that man can do, and I'm left alone to die, well, even then, surrounded by affliction's greatest pain, in the midst of it all, I shall stand and not fall and bless His name. In the midst of it all, in the midst of it all, I found hope that will never let me fall. Jesus,